Let's see. Hello, hello. What's going on? A Merry Christmas Eve to everybody. If anybody's joining in early, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Apparently, I got this Discord updates. Let's see here. Looks like there's a community update for a timeout feature. Timeout feature is now live to all communities. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out later. I'll have to check that out later. Alright. So, yesterday, we'll just do a brief talk over. We started my fifth branch of my coding revision for my cemetery app. Wow, of course, go live and everything wants to start going on, burping and everything. But anyways, we started my fifth branch. And you know what? Let me go ahead and switch over to my desktop. Okay, so I already have everything up. Fifth branch, we're going to be focusing on REST Controllers, MVC Testing, and Thymeleaf. Thymeleaf, we'll see if we get to that today. But so far, this looks like it's going to be at least a two-part series for this branch. So far, we got 4 things done in my REST controller, which was these right here. And the biggest time consumer was the cannot find exception. And that's okay. So moving on, we're going to be moving from gravesite over to cemetery sections. So I'm going to go ahead and uncomment the cemetery section parts. And let me go ahead and get my other code up that I'm basing everything off of. For anybody who might be joining in, lurking, this is the program right here in this box. This was or is the first revision that I wrote up 3 years ago on Java 11 JUnit 4, and I don't remember all the other stuff. I don't remember what Spring Boot version is, but 3 years later, we're on Java 17. We're on JUnit 5, and obviously there's a new Spring Boot update that's like 3 years newer. So everything, I'm just rewriting this project to be up to date with the code and things I've learned over the last 3 years, just like little minute things. We'll go ahead and slowly, like after we get to the point of the demo, then we'll go ahead and start making little minute change. I can't talk. Small minute changes, and now I'm kind of thinking, should small and minute be in the same sentence? We're making some minute changes to the code as we go along, and every time something breaks because it's been depreciated or no longer works with the updated code, it has to be written a different way. Wow, my voice just cracked. Holy crap. I just went, We'll be moving on, and we're documenting everything over here that happens. For example, yesterday, here's how I would write out my cannot find exception under JUnit 4, and then JUnit 5 I had to write it out this way. Obviously, that's a lot more complicated looking than this. Or maybe this is a not just a JUnit 4 and 5 thing, but maybe a Java 11 and 17 thing. I'm not really too sure. I just know that this works. So let's see, one more notes. Alright, this will be the next part. Okay, so now, alright, let's go ahead and start. Of course. Now I'm yawning. Never fails. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start writing our next tests. And we're going to go ahead and minimize these ones. So that way we don't have to scroll down so far. Okay, so now we're going to do test. Public void should return a list of cemetery sections. Curly brackets, okay. And, oh, let me go back over here because I accidentally uncommented too much. Alright. And to make my progress smooth as I fill this out, I have the code commented by different sections. So as I go through things one by one, I am uncommenting them as well. So that way I'll know what breaks and what doesn't break, and not have to go through the entire code base to figure out what's causing a break on this new revision, just to figure out how it works on the other one. So if I have everything commented out in certain sections, then I can just uncomment certain things and figure out, hey, I need to keep an eye out for this to make sure it works. Because I don't remember everything I did. See, when cemetery section repo dot find all, then return collections dot singleton list, oops, cemetery section semicolon string result equals under test, whoops, dot find cemetery sections model semicolon. Okay. So now we have to go and create the method because it doesn't exist. So that brings us over here. And now we need to go ahead and add the resource for cemetery section because we know we're going to be pulling it. Private cemetery section. Wait. No, not that one. Repository. Cemetery section repo. Let's go ahead and exit this out. Which we may end up having to bring back the cemetery section for right here. That's fine. We'll get to it when we get to it. Okay. So does anything need to go right here? Nope. This is basically just going to be the way it is. Model. Let's see here. Find cemetery sections, model. Model dot add attribute. Double quotes. Cemetery. Whoa. Somebody can't spell. Sections. Oops. Not right there. Cemetery sections repo. Dot find all. Semicolon. Return. Cemetery sections. let me make sure this is the right correct one. So I have, let's see. I have find grave site. So we're gonna minimize this one. This one we don't got on here yet because it doesn't exist yet. See, we got find. See, we got request mappings, find gravesite. Yep, that's this one. So we're gonna shrink this one. See, we're gonna comment out this one because it doesn't exist yet. Okay. Yep. Now we should be able to go back over here. Finish writing out the test. And now that error has gone away. So now it should be assert true result, comma, contains any cemetery section dot class does not equal null. Right, cool. Anything errored out? No. Alright, let's run the test. Run test. And as we've seen on some of the other tests, just because it's written up the same way doesn't mean it's going to pass. But luckily we don't have to do any digging around. This test passed. Okay. So we'll go ahead and check off that box. And then we're going to go ahead and run every test for this file. Make sure it all works together. Alrighty. Those all pass. Oh, you know what I should do that I didn't think about doing yesterday? Let's see here. I know we did a get status. We should go ahead and add these and commit them, and I'll explain why. Of course, we're not going to change anything right now because I already added in some changes for this next portion. But I just want to go ahead and commit that through testing, created. How about we put started REST controller for gravesite. Let's see. And we add in let's see here. We'll put the name of the test. Retrieve any gravesite. Find all gravesites. Get one gravesite. Return a cannot find exception. And return a list of cemetery sections was tested out so far. All tests pass. And is there a better way to word this? If there is a better way of wording it, I can't think of it at this point in time. No, Terry, not right now. I know you're wanting to get in my lap, but I don't want you knocking over my can of pop. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a step. Uh-oh. Alright. Commit that, see get status. Okay. Now that we got that, because I forgot to do that yesterday. I didn't think about it. I should have did that. But at least everything's committed now. And now let's continue. Go back over to the test. Add test. Public void. Should. Get one cemetery section from database. Pow! Curly brackets. Okay. Now we got when cemetery section repo dot find all. Uh-oh. Dot then return. Wait, no. No, not this one. Not yet. Hold on. I am messing things up. Let's see. Dot get one or get by ID because we can't use get one no more. So get because it's been depreciated. We're gonna type in 88 long. Dot now we can do the then return cemetery section semicolon. Now we're gonna do cemetery section result equals under test dot find cemetery section doesn't exist. Where we put 88L. Uh-oh. 88L semicolon. Okay, before we do anything else, we're going to go ahead and create this method. And this is going to be the request mapping portion. At request mapping. Semicolon slash cemetery sections forward slash forward slash curly bracket ID ending curly bracket. Okay. So then we do we're gonna comment out that code too. Okay, going back to this. Let's see, where was I? I'm brain fart. Go here, delete this. At path variable name ID long ID if cemetery section repo dot get by ID equals null throw new nope cannot find exception unable to find cemetery section. Ooh, you know what? We're gonna make it invalid query. Unable to find the cemetery section. Make it sound cool. Go down here, return cemetery section repo dot get by ID semicolon. Okay, now we should have this. That should be good to go. All right. Now we jump down to here. And whoa, why'd all my stuff just disappear off my screen? What? Where did it all go? Okay. Let me, it's like I went to go move a thing, but for some reason Windows took my desktop, all my monitors, and boom, wiped everything out. Everything's still up, it's just all minimized. I don't know how it did that. Okay. So let me get everything back up real quick. Okay, there's that one up. Okay. Sweet. Okay, now we got everything back up. Ooh, I need to message my brother real quick. Alright, where was I? Before my stuff decided I'll go minimize on me. Okay. Assert. We're going to look up for assert that result is cemetery section. Okay, now this test should pass. Should pass. Okay. Now we're going to go back up here and run all tests. All tests pass. Sweet. Let's go ahead and mark this off our list. Start a new test. Public void should return a list. Wait. Is this already moving towards tags? Did I not? Wait, no. So I did test. Wait, what the heck am I doing? Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's is what I did. So public void should return a list of cemetery tags. So now we're moving over to the tag section. So now I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up here, and we're gonna uncomment tags portion. My wife's calling. She wants me to go to Kroger's and buy potatoes. But I told her I'll do that after. I'll do that after I do this for a couple hours. Hey, how do I pronounce that? Minkai? Thanks for the follow. I'm guessing the Y is silent. Alright. So, where was I? Oh yeah. We're on the tags portion now. Wait, why is it repose? Did I mess up here? Yep. Yes, I did. Oh, and before, you know what? Let me delete this. I'm going to go ahead and, since I'm on the tags portion of this now, let's see, tested for cemetery section, cannot find exception. I won't list the other part just because it's added in with all the gravesite commits. Alright, let me go back over to my notes over here. So, when cemetery tag repo find all, then return cemetery tag. Oh, nope. I'm getting ahead of myself, ain't I? But we will go ahead and put that there. Collections dot singleton list. Now we put in the cemetery tag. Now we're going to do iterable cemetery tag result equals find cemetery tags model. Wait, what the heck? That wasn't what key I was looking for. Oh, so that's how people do that. Huh, okay. I just learned that by accident. Will I remember it though? That's a completely different story. So now we're over here on our grave site. Wait, no. We need to create method. Yep. Look. Huh? This doesn't come over here. This goes over here. And now we need to add resource private cemetery tag repository tag repo. Okay. So that iterable should be right here instead, over on this side. And the only thing it has to do is return cemetery tag repo dot, let's see here, find all. Wait, that's literally all I have to do? No way. Okay, so why is it not picking it up? So if, on my other one, if I click on find tags, it takes me directly over to the gravesite REST controller. If I do it here, what's it say? Create. No, we don't want it in find cemetery tag. We want it to be what? Uh-huh. Huh. So these were set up. I'm literally rewriting this revision from scratch. So if we look over here, go to test the test, when cemetery tag repo dot find all dot then return collections singleton list cemetery tag iterable cemetery tag result. Oh, that's okay. There we go. I forgot the under test dot. Duh. It's always something. Always something. Okay. Continuing on. Assert that result, comma, contains any cemetery tag. Not that one. Cemetery tag dot class. Save. Ooh, why isn't it picking it up? Oh, how about we try an actual dot? Does that work? Yep. Okay. Let's go ahead and run tests. Okay, everything passes. Let's go ahead and we'll go up here. We'll run all tests just to make sure it's all still good to go. Alright, and now we'll go ahead and check that off. Minimize this. Start the next test. And this one should be public void should should get a cemetery tag from database. Okay. So now it's going to be when cemetery tag repo dot get by ID. And my testing over here, I have 183 long dot then return cemetery tag result equals under test dot, except now it's just going to be without the S because it's a single tag. 183 long semicolon. Okay, let's go ahead and create this. And now we're going to go ahead and bam, request mapping value equals, oh no, not for this. This isn't a value, so I'm thinking of the parameter thing. Cemetery tags curly brackets ID. And for anybody who might be watching who doesn't know, this curly bracket right here, it's like it'll auto generate the ID when it comes to it. Okay, see public cemetery tag, find tag, well, find cemetery tag. And for anybody who's just joining in who doesn't know, this is, like I was saying in my title, this is a rewrite of an old project I did about 3 years ago. So I'm using it as notes. At path variable name, whoops, name ID long ID. Okay, now if go ahead and throw the curly brackets up here too. If cemetery tag repo get by ID equals null. Hey, I remember something by heart now. Throw new cannot find exception. Invalid query. We'll put this cemetery tag does not exist. Return cemetery tag repo dot get by ID. Okay. Alright. Switch back over to the test now that that's filled out. Now we're going to assert that result is cemetery tag. Run. Passes. All these are going to pass now. Well, still. However, just to show that this is actually working correctly, let's do 1L, and then we'll rerun the test again. Now it should say fail. Yep. This tag does not exist. So if we go back to 183, Run this. It should pass again. Yep. Alright, let's go ahead and check this off. Okay. So now we're going to go back to here. We're going to go ahead and commit, we'll add and commit the addition to tags. See through testing. Return a list of cemetery tags and tested the cannot find exception for cemetery tags. Well, tag. Ooh, for getting an individual cemetery tag from database. Status. Okay. Yeah, I know I need to work on my my git commits. I need to figure out better ways to make a commit message. See, someone's texting my phone. The heck is on my wireless mouse? I mean, my wireless phone charger. That's weird. Okay, make sure my phone's charging. Okay. So now my last two tests. So this one involves, let's see, let me go over here. Okay. So this one involves uncommenting out this one. Now we're going to minimize this test. And we're going to test for public void should return a collection of grave sites for a given cemetery section. You know, what sounds actually better? Should return a collection of grave sites for a given cemetery section, or should I call it should find grave site by cemetery section ID? So here we're going to do long cemetery section ID equals, we'll do 250L. We're going to write out two wins. The first one's going to be when cemetery section repo dot get by ID cemetery section ID, then return cemetery section. And our second when is going to be when cemetery section dot get grave sites dot then return I'm not exactly sure which one this is going to be. Collections dot not singleton list, but dot singleton gravesite semicolon. Now iterable gravesite result equals, let's not forget this again, find grave site by cemetery section ID. We're going to do cemetery section ID semicolon. Okay, now let's go ahead and go over there and create this method. And this is going to be here. It is going up here and be placed, let's see, right here. Yeah, right here. And it's going to be a request mapping slash grave, site ID. Hold on. We'll make that minor adjustment as we go. Okay. You know, I'm curious. See, is it okay? But is it gravesite or gravesite? So they actually have it here with a dash. Okay, that's what I thought. So we're gonna leave it this way because I don't need to change that. But anyways, back to what we were doing. Public iterable gravesite. Find gravesite by cemetery section ID. At path variable. Name. ID. Long ID. Return. Cemetery section. Where is it? Oh, it's right here, the very top one. dot get by ID dot get grave sites. Alright, this should work, but we're not testing it yet. We still have to finish out the test. Assert that result contains gravesite. Alright, I wouldn't be surprised if this does fail by some chance, but it does pass. So just to make sure, how would I write this to fail? Alright, going back up here. Oh my god, click the right thing. All tests pass. Checking off this box. Let's see. Since these are a little bit more complicated tests, we're gonna go ahead and add these commits by themselves. So you should find a grave site by cemetery section ID. Oh no, I forgot to put all tests pass. Oh well, it's not gonna kill anything. Shouldn't kill anything. There we go, yawning again. Okay, and then we're up to our last test, which is find gravesite by cemetery section. So it's the same thing, but a little different. It's written out differently. See, find gravesite by cemetery section. Where's that at? Okay, here it is. Alright, yeah. So here, we're going to test public void should return any gravesite for given cemetery section. And again, we're going to be writing out two wins. This time we're not writing out long. So when cemetery section repo dot get by ID no, it's not get by ID. Ooh, what are we doing here? Dot find one by cemetery section '88 alpha. Oh snaps. So here we're going to go to the repository. And we're going to write out cemetery section, find one by cemetery section, string cemetery section. Let me see where this points to real quick. Alright. That's weird. Dot then, hold on. Return. Why is it airing out like this? Hold up. Oh. Okay. I see what's going on. Okay, now our second win is going to be cemetery section. Dot get grave sites. Dot then return collections. Dot singleton gravesite. And now we're going to be going doing some more now we're going to be doing another iterable. Result equals under test dot find grave site by cemetery section. I'm gonna put 89 alpha because I want to make sure that it does fail and that it says expected 88 alpha but was 89 alpha. So before we write out that part, we're going to go ahead and create the method. And this is going to go right underneath, I think right here. Find grave sites model. Wait, no. Wait, what? Why is it up here? Let's see here. Public iterable gravesite. Find gravesite by cemetery section. String cemetery section. Return cemetery section dot repo. Find one cemetery section dot get grave sites. Wow, that's confusing. Okay, now we're going to go back here. That should fill out. We're going to go down here. I think it's going to assert that. Assert that result contains gravesite. And again, this should fail. Not invoke. Ooh. Is null. It wasn't even what I wanted it to fail as. Okay, let's see. Let's rerun it again. And now it passes. Oh. So if I change this to 89 alpha, run the test, it fails stating that it's a null. That's quite interesting. I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to say expected 88 alpha, but was 89 alpha. So go ahead, correct it. Oh god, sorry. Make sure it passes. And test pass. Go over here. Close that out. Make sure I'm gonna go over, compare both files, make sure I'm not missing anything. So according to my first revision, I am missing 1, 2, 3 so far. But I suspect those will probably come when we go through the MVC testing. I'm assuming. And if not, then apparently I did not test for these 3 areas. And I guess that's what we'll just have to work on afterwards. So let's go ahead and create a secondary checklist. And we'll call this the missing 3. Just in case it pops up elsewhere. On like on what in the hell is that supposed to mean? Find cemetery section by cemetery section. Oh yeah, I'm gonna write it out. I'm writing them out just like this, just so I can keep an eye out. Let's see. Find cemetery section by cemetery section ID. And then we got find tag by, hold on, cemetery tag by cemetery. Oh my god, I did spell it right. Tag ID, right? Yeah. So we're going to pause that and come over here. We're going to create this checklist. And then we're also going to add the missing 3. Okay, we're going to put this over here too, just in case. But first, get status, get add. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Okay, get commit through unit testing. Tested for should return any gravesite for a given cemetery section. Ran all tests. All tests pass. Get status. Okay, good to go. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and exit out of these. Or you know, we'll leave this up. And then now we're going to go down. We're going to minimize templates in the resources folders. Okay, so under controllers, we're going to, wait, is this the right thing? Yeah, test. New Java class, and this is going to be called Grave Site MVC Test. Okay, so here we're going to add at run with. I think this is actually different for JUnit 5. Yeah, it says JUnit 4. So I think what we need to actually do is Spring extension class. Yeah, it's also JUnit 4. Let me switch over to my other project that I have up, because it is based off of JUnit 5 because I was working on it earlier this year. Let's see if I created an MVC test. And holy crap. Okay. So yeah, I forgot it's not run with anymore. It's going to be at extend with. This is where the Spring extension class comes in. So I remember that part. I just didn't remember the other part. And now we're going to go back to notes. Now we're going to do grave site MVC test. And let's see. The at run with annotation no longer works. For JUnit 5, since it is used in JUnit 4. Oh, you know what? We'll do this. Belongs to JUnit 4 and JUnit 5 must use the annotation. Oh my god, I cannot type. Extend with Spring runner dot class extend with Spring extension dot class. Okay. Now we can do at web MVC test gravesite REST controller dot class. Alright, now we're going to do at resource mock MVC again. Well, this one's just mock MVC. Oh. I accidentally capitalized these two. And apparently I don't know how to spell mock. We also need to mock bean private gravesite repository to gravesite repo. I'm not going to add in the other two repos just because I have to you know, comment them out and then go back and uncomment them out. I'll just rewrite them once I get to them. So yeah, before each public void setup throws exception if one happens to arise. Mock etho annotations dot open mocks this semicolon. Okay, so we got this. Screw it. We'll just do it for both. I mean, for them all anyways. Alright, we'll just go ahead and comment these out. So the test we are looking to write this time around is going to be these tests right here. And it's not many of them. It's only, see, how many is there over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. So we got should get an individual gravesite. Should not find gravesite ID. Should get should find, oh my god, find a cemetery section wait, oh yeah, that's this one. Then we also have should get an individual cemetery section. This is actually first. I just read the wrong line. And then it's the same thing for tag. Should get an individual cemetery tag. Should find a cemetery tag. Alright. And we'll see how this works out. So we'll go ahead and test for the first one. Here I expect things to not go as planned. I expect this to definitely not go as planned. Let's see here. When why did it gray out? Oh. No shit, it grayed out. God dang it. Public void. Should get an individual. Oh my god. Individual. Individual gravesite. Don't judge me, man. Throws exception. Don't judge me. I can't spell worth the crap. When gravesite repo dot no get what no by all this is inside it. Okay, dot get by ID. We're gonna do 18L dot then return. This is actually going to be pretty long, so we're going to go ahead and take this dot, move it down to right here, and we're going to say new gravesite. And we're basically going to be making everything blank. I'm copying and pasting this part. Semicolon. Okay. We're going to go ahead and make that down to right here, so it's all within the same line. Now we're going to do MVC dot perform get gravesite slash, we're going to do 5 dot and expect status dot is okay. So let's go ahead and get I bet it's this one dot is okay. Oh, no, wrong one. Is okay. However, this is apparently is the wrong get. So I'm gonna go to my imports, and yeah, I did the wrong get. Import static method. I know you want to come over here, Tara, but you gotta wait. I'll just copy and paste it. Because it should be the same thing as status. Okay, cool. Now it should work. Alright, let's run this first one. It should break. Because we're getting by 18. I mean, we're looking for 18 long, but we're aiming for 5. So let's see what it does. Failed to load application context. That's not what I was looking for. Or is it? No, it's still just failing. Consider the finding failed to start. What? Why didn't this work? Okay. Let's look over our setup. We got mock bean in place. Looking over my other projects, trying to figure out what I may have done differently. Now I'm looking over another one. It looks like I skipped something. Let's comment this one out for now. And let's first try to actually retrieve the profile. Once we can actually retrieve the profile, then we know it's okay. And then we can go ahead and try and go deeper. So public void should retrieve grave sites. Let's try this. Whoa. Just MVC.perform get grave sites. If this works, then we know it works. And expect status dot is okay. And if this doesn't work, then we'll know it's probably something on our REST controller. Yeah, it's the same thing over here. Failed to start. Why is it saying that my bean cannot be found? Oh, hey. Um, you know, this is just kind of like how I'm used to it. So, when I wrote this out 3 years ago for the first time, and yeah, I know what you mean. It's my constructor's huge. So when I went to my coding boot camp, we didn't do much with setters. We did a lot, like we did everything with the getters, and they had like very little setters, and just had everything pretty much wrote out. That's kind of like why I'm going through this project again. I didn't, crap. I did not create this program here through my boot camp at the time. I did this as like a memory refresher, and I kind of mimicked it from my old coding boot camp projects. So as I'm rewriting this one out, once I get it up to my demo stage to where I had it 3 years ago with all the updated code, then I'm gonna go through and try and figure out ways to actually shrink my constructor, if that makes sense. Cause like here, I'll show you the one from 3 years ago. So like this one, I mean, yeah, this sucker's huge. So I've thought about like trying to point some of them into as like an actual object to try to make that constructor a lot smaller. But I'm gonna do all that like once I get everything caught up to where I am now for my project 3 years ago, and then uh, make a bunch of like refactoring and try and make things smaller. Does that make any sense? But yeah, I'm definitely up for any type of critique and advice because this is all primarily just for me to learn. So I have this annotated as repository. Let me go back to the other one. Hey, thanks. Yeah, so my last company I was working for, it was like my first official coding job, but they didn't deal with Java. They actually dealt with PHP, and I actually showed them my cemetery demo I had built back then, and like that's pretty much I guess what kind of got me onto their company. And then they were actually gonna like grow me as a new entry level developer and teach me the way of PHP. They didn't mind I didn't know PHP, and they were gonna grow me, but things didn't go as planned, And I think with about the 2.5 years I was with that company, I would say the most coding I did day-wise was probably less than a month, maybe not even 2 weeks worth of coding. And I ended up getting stuck with like front-end support and basically just figuring out how to actually locate bugs and then making like from a coding point of view a better ticket for my senior developers to actually go through and fix them, and while they also did all like the new features. But if it was like a small enough bug to where I could have actually went in there and fixed it, they didn't mind if I actually went in and fixed it, and then they reviewed it and pushed it out. So I didn't get like in-depth coding like I had hoped. So compared to my last, so compared to this old one, everything looks the same. I don't know why it's telling me. I'm thinking it's maybe something to do with from where this was written on, from where all the dependencies are like 3 years old, and I'm working on newer dependencies. Because this one here was written on Java 11, I forget which Spring Boot version it was 3 years ago, and JUnit 4. And when I messed with it, tried to create a new project for like a Java memory refresher back during the summer, like or whatever, several months ago, I realize now so I think that one was like Java 16 and JUnit 5, and then this rewrite here is Java 17 with JUnit 5 and its latest Spring Boot as well. So now I'm just trying to figure out exactly why this is happening. Now, one thing I'm trying to do as a test to figure out why this isn't working. This is the one I did several months ago with all the updated, well, from several months ago, updated at that time. And this was with completely different stuff. The only thing I don't have added onto this one that this one does would be this right here. But considering this is my first MVC test for this one, it didn't say anything about like any user stuff, so I don't think it's that. So with all that stuff commented out, that one passed. I wonder if it could be a misspelling somewhere. I want to say I doubt it. Because all my annotations, I want to say, look correct. I have them pointed as a resource. I have this listed as REST controller. Yes, it is IntelliJ. I actually came from Eclipse, and when I first started out with IntelliJ, it was like the most complicated thing to me. But then when I started using it more and more, I'm like, I can't go back to Eclipse for whatever reason. I know nothing about C Sharp. Is Writer, is that JetBrains version of IntelliJ for C Sharp? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm actually really liking their the way they have their IDE set up. Like I used their PHP version for my last job, and I paid for it myself for the monthly basis. So I was supposed to be learning PHP through my last job, but plans didn't work out. And none of them liked it. They were all sticking to like, I think my boss used Eclipse or a Notepad, and then two of my other like my supervisor, who was my senior developer slash mentor, he used only Notepad and went and used an IDE. And another one of our senior devs there that was there longer than my supervisor, I think he used either a clip or a Notepad. The one thing, if I was still with my company, I think the only way I could probably convince them to have switched over to JetBrains would be their new space integrated team environment. I think if I could have figured this out and showed it to them, that may have encouraged them to switch, but they were all about free stuff. I mean, I don't blame them. They were a small company. Like I think there was only like 8 or 9 of us there at the time when I was there. So they were all about free stuff as much as they could. Right, right. I get that. Oh, you know what? I just realized that this thing is pointing to my cemetery section repository, and I actually have it commented out. So let's see what happens if I go ahead and uncomment that and see if that. I'm probably just making this harder on myself. Let's see now what else. Huh? I guess it really wants me to uncomment that one as well. Hey, something different. Okay. I have no clue what I'm doing, to be honest. I actually still consider myself entry level, so I feel like the last 2.5 years of Java experience at my last job should have brought me up to a junior level, mindset. But considering, like I was telling, I don't know if you was here when I was telling the Aljutaro, but I think that like 2.5 years I was with my last company, when they brought me on as an entry level guy, I didn't get much actual coding experience, and any coding experience I did was basically me messing around at home, doing like trying to mess around with stuff, trying to learn like the basics of PHP on sites like Udemy and whatnot, just so I can be better for my own current job at that time. And then I think one of the things that was hurting me the most there at my last company, though, try to adapt. Yeah, like I would try to, so I tried to make me a PHP project after hours, and then when I'd go back to my job to talk to my mentor about it, they kind of had this attitude of, I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bad attitude. I kind of get where he was coming from. He doesn't want to talk about work stuff from after working hours, etc., etc. Hello, Minamoto Akira. I think that's how you pronounce that. How you doing today? By the way, I'm not sure where everybody's from, but depending on your time zone, uh, Happy Christmas Eve to you guys, or Merry Christmas, depending on your time zone. I'm over here on the east coast of the U.S., so it's only Christmas Eve for me still. Nice. I've always wanted to visit Scotland. I think the only time I've been to Germany was maybe the airport. That was probably it. Wow, in Turkey. So pretty much you guys all live in places I would at least like to visit at least once in my lifetime. So here's kind of where I struggle with. So like the REST controller and the MVC type stuff, this is pretty much what I struggle with now, because I don't really know how to, I guess, visualize this type of stuff in my head. Hey, thanks for the follow. So I have it all lowercase here. I have it all lowercase here. So why isn't this... No, not a swing project. I don't even know what a swing project is, to be honest. What's a swing project? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with those. Oh, I know. Well, these right here, since it's supposed to be pointing to a URL, will that have any effect on the spelling for... No, not that. Why do I keep clicking that? Will that have any effect on the templates? I have that all lowercase too. Well, what the hell? Oh, I gotta pause what I'm doing real quick. I need to look up a store time because I know my wife called me early and was like, make sure I go to the store and buy potatoes. Let's see. Okay, so I got like an hour. I think I'll try to focus on figuring this out, and then I might need to go do some grocery shopping while my wife's at work. Because I know if I don't do it, she's gonna come home and I might not be able to stream no more. I'll probably get grounded from her. You know, I actually like messing with Thymeleaf. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's the first XML I worked with for my coding boot camp, but I just like figuring out the way like Thymeleaf just kind of like pulls everything from the back into the front. I struggled with that one too, but I actually enjoy that struggle. I'm just and I'm currently looking over on my project from 3 years ago to figure out. I think this still passed. I'm gonna run this one just in case, because I haven't ran these tests in a couple years, and I don't remember if I ran it at all today or not. You know, I've actually considered trying to focus on those three, but every time I look at JavaScript, it just really confuses me. I don't know if it's from where. So my boot camp at the time, they change it up like every two cohorts. So I went through it back in 2018, and their fundamental focus at that time was primary Java. And the only JavaScript I think it wasn't even a week long. I think it was like a 4 hour introduction to JavaScript, and then like another 4 hours to, I think it was like Ajax and figuring out how to unit test JavaScript as well if we wanted to go that route. And then that was like all the JavaScripting we did. Because everything else was basically HTML, CSS. They focused a lot on, I think it was, what was it called? Grid and, oh man, what's the other one called? I think it's like box, something box. I don't even remember the term from that long ago. I think it was Flexbox. So we focus on that for the front end. Um, oh, well, I don't remember any of that stuff. I just remember it was like, I just remember the terms grid, and then yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it was see, then we did Java, Thymeleaf, Spring, Hibernate, JPA, and we used the H2. But we didn't really focus a lot on SQL at that time. It was just an introduction to it. And then if we wanted to focus more like on like H2 and SQL and stuff, that was kind of like on our own time or wait till we get out to the real world type deal. But they wanted to introduce it to us so we could at least see what SQL had looked at. Now that's one thing I did kind of semi picked up with. I still struggle with it, but my last job we actually used Postgres, and I actually like Postgres a lot. I actually thought about what was it called? I think it was Code Academy. No, or maybe it was. So I thought about coming here because they actually have something. Let's see. I don't think it was that one. Maybe it was this one. So they have this, and I thought about looking into this right here, just like on some free time and stuff, since it's focusing on a lot of stuff I don't even know. But I'm just not too sure yet. This is probably gonna be something more I might consider, like after I get me another job and I have some money, and then I can actually afford like these monthly or annual subscriptions. Hmm. I wonder if, let's see. I'm gonna try commenting out all of these right here. See if this one still passes. And I'm going to try breaking stuff. So I'm assuming it automatically wants this. Oh, crap. I'm just gonna comment out all that. I forgot if I break stuff, other tests fail too. Okay. So I know I can pinpoint this to this right here. So if I come over here, so it's something with this. What is it with this that it's actually failing? So if I uncomment this back out and go test this again on this is my project from 3 years ago. So if I uncomment it, it actually works again. But this is literally set up the exact same way, except the only difference is being I actually had these spelled differently, with just mainly the capitalization between the S. Yeah, I understand the 204 error part. That part I at least understand. It's just when it comes to actually testing it out. Well, doing it this way, hey, Mass 95, I don't even know. I just got to the MVC part of my testing. And I'm just trying to test for this right now. But I'm getting a 404 instead of a 200. So now I'm just trying to figure out exactly where. See, that injection of bean, I don't really like fully understand this stuff. I just know it either works or doesn't work, and if it takes me too long, I try and Google everything. So this one is set up similar to this one right here. And so this one has that. I wonder if this one will pass. Okay, yeah, so this one passes with the ID part. But so then why won't this one pass? So this one here is my summer project I worked on that dealt with JUnit 5, etc. And this was something completely different I was just screwing around with. I wonder if it's... I wonder if I take out this one, if this one will fail. Because I don't know if I have something similar to this over in this project. And then, let's see here. Oh, okay. I see. So this project doesn't actually have this request mapping over here. That's why this one now passes and this one fails. So I bet if I create something over here similar to this, so in order for these to actually pass, we actually have to have something requesting that's similar to it. I thought it kind of like did everything automatically, if that makes sense. Oh, okay. Huh, how about that? I guess I was just making this a lot harder on myself. Well, I'll be damned. So for the debugging stuff, I'm actually not too familiar with it. No one's actually ever really taught me how to actually debug. But I'm guessing all I really do is click this right here. Yeah, so like even the coding bootcamp I went through back in 2018, and even the company I was with last time, nobody taught debugging. So I'm guessing I would just on IntelliJ click this right here and just click on debug. Yeah, this stuff looks. What in the world? Oh man, I'm hitting too many keys. So correct me, am I thinking on this? So for the debugging, if I wanted to debug this test, I would have to click, make sure both these are highlighted, and then test it that way, right, for the debug? I don't think I understand what you mean by creating a breakpoint in the controller. Oh, okay. So if I wanted to test the debug for, so if I was wanting to test this, I would just have to just click here and then debug it from there. I don't have to click on any other lines. Is that correct? Hmm. Okay. Huh. Well, thanks for that lesson, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and start ending my stream. Cause I gotta go and do my honey-do list before my wife gets off work, and I better make sure I don't miss the closing of this store, or she'll kill me. But hey guys, thanks for joining me on the stream. Thanks for teaching me up some teaching me some stuff. Thanks for the follow, Mass95. I'm trying to get my streams to where I do like my first stream as some coding, and then thanks for the follow, Jutaro, and I'm going to try and make it to where my first stream of the day is my coding for like a couple hours or so, and then for the rest of my streams, like after that, are most likely like all gaming and stuff like that. Cause I play a lot of games with my brother as well as a Marine buddy of mine. So, Merry Christmas to everybody. Again, whatever your time zones are, Happy Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. Happy holidays. I'll catch you guys next time if you guys happen to catch me. Peace out.